Hello, everyone. This is Rolando with Information Starts Here, and we have Jay Martinez, or
Sir.
Gennaro, sorry about that, with Family Assistance Program, and he's going to talk a little bit about what's been going on since the last time that we've had Jay on the show in regards to family assistance in San Bernardino in the West Side.
Sure. So I would definitely like to kind of let everybody know the impact we're having, what we've been doing the last few months we've been there. We've only been there for about 6 months. So a lot of our business, a lot of our foot traffic is coming in through word of mouth. But even though our numbers aren't huge for being just driven by word of mouth, I think our numbers are great. So we generally help with helping build resumes, get people into housing, give people options, help guide them towards, jobs, help them with birth certificates, all that stuff. So one of the big things that we're really proud of is the people that we put into housing. So that's our big thing, is getting people off the street, getting them the help they need. So in October, it's about 20 work days, we were able to get 20 people into housing.
Wow.
So I think it's a great success, and that's a mix. It's some is transitional housing, some is youth that we're getting into our youth shelter, and some is into rehab housing. So we've got some great partners that we work with. So some of these programs are ours, and then some are just partners that we met up with, reached out to, made contact with, and we're able to help our clients.
Right.
So I think that's a great one.
I'm going to ask you, how many times does it usually take for someone to stop by and kind of like just peek their head in, and then they might ask for something, they leave, and they kind of like, it takes a couple of times, I think you had mentioned before
Yes.
they really warm up to you to...
Yeah, it depends on the need. We do get a fair amount of domestic violence victims. Those ones, they're looking for something. They're a little more desperate, and they're more willing to take the help that we have. We do get a lot of homeless people that are just very comfortable with their living situation. Those ones are a little tougher. Those are the ones that you need to kind of nurture, create a relationship. Just when they come in, let them know we do have options. But in the meantime, we've got coffee, popcorn, and water.
Yes.
You can charge your phone. You can hang out. Just relax. We're not going to bug you, but we'll talk to you. We'll see where you are and everything. And when they're ready, they'll come to us. So we do have a regular that he's been coming in since we've been open. He generally just comes in, gets his coffee, popcorn, sits there, and he's on his phone all day. But we got to know him really well. We did a little Thanksgiving thing for our clients, and he was there with some of our other regulars.
Okay.
But now he's at the point to where he's asking for help. He wants to get housing. So it's awesome to see. He finally feels comfortable.
It's building the trust.
Yes,
And that's
definitely.
what it is. There's a lot of folks that are been out there, and for one reason or another, they've lost faith, they've lost trust in the services out there, and they just don't know who to turn to. So
and a lot of it is just people are coming from trauma, major trauma. Like one of our clients lost a daughter and wife in a car accident. Had a great job, had a big house, but that's what sent him off. And he's been kind of on a downward spiral ever since. He's been homeless for years, but that's still affecting him, and it's been years and years and years. But that's what we're dealing with. People that have just lost all hope. So we just try to get them a little bit of hope, just show them some kind of consistency by being there, being the same people. They know what they're going to get every time they walk in the door. So that's what we're doing.
you're not going to judge them.
No, we do have a fair amount of clients that are drug addicts, and we have caught some people that were with drugs. But our thing is, hey, you can't have it here. You got to take that outside. But come on back. You know what our rules are. We have to definitely have those strong boundaries.
Right.
But they're always welcome back, and they're always welcome to any kind of help we can offer. Definitely.
And in just a short period of time that you have opened the doors, I'm sure you have a couple of stories that you wanted to share with us to let us know what kind of experiences that anybody that's out there right now that is listening in or watching us can relate to.
We did have very recently. So we presented. It was one of the community partners that we did present together at. I won't say where because I don't want to put any on, put their
Right.
information out there. But
Right.
We presented to a group of parents And then one of the ladies that we presented for called me with one of her clients and said, "Hey, I've got a lady here with a 4-year-old that they're sleeping in their car." So I had her send them down, made the phone calls. Our awesome partners at Next Step, they were able to, we didn't have the room, but they were able to make the room for her for that night. And then she was also having issues with childcare. So I was able to go down to San Bernardino Valley College. They got a great childcare program. So I was able to advocate for her there and at least get her the information, get them a familiar face. So when she goes down there to talk to them, she's not going in cold. She's going in, with saying the family assistant's name. So that at least there's something to kind of, back her up a little bit. So we've done stuff like that. Right. But that was one of the good ones. So yeah, she was sleeping in her car for quite a while. But that night that she met us, she was able to get into a warm house, her own bed, pretty much had the house for herself with her son. So I think that was a great success. Right. That was a good one.
And I know you had shared the story with me prior.
Yep.
In that situation, but a lot of times there's different reasons why people are out in the street in their cars and in their situation, and they're kind of like in a homeless situation. Is I believe some of the story, and I know I didn't want to share too much of it because of privacy, but she had a good intent in being out here in this area, but it didn't work out.
And we've seen that more than once, where people come out here for family, to help family, and circumstances change, and all of a sudden they're on their own, their family is gone. So we've had that happen numerous times. We just had a guy come in that moved out here from out of state to financially help his family that's out here. Once he lost his job, they lost their place. They found another place, but there was no room for him because he didn't have a job at that moment. Right. So we were actually able just to get him off the street and into one of our partners, the Lutheran mission.
Okay.
So they work on referrals. So you can't walk in, you got to get a referral. So he came into us, we were able to get a referral in and get him in there. So that was a kind of nice little success also.
Right. I know that you're connected to the community with different services in different places, like Mary's Table and the other shelters in the area. So I know that family assistants, they don't have everything there, but Correct. You're able to direct them and get them to the right path, or get their feet on, to the right path of where they need to go.
Yep. Yeah. So we can't provide everything, but we do. While we've been there, we've been reaching out to all the other nonprofits in the area, soup kitchens, shelters, anything we'd find. Charter schools, even charter schools is a good spot to go for help. So we've reached out, and if we can help them, we've got partners that can. Because we're not the experts in everything. So if we can reach out to the people that are experts, then that's the best bet.
Right.
Yeah.
There is, I know next month is a little bit of focus on human trafficking.
Yep.
So I know that's a big concern in San Bernardino, especially
Correct.
the Inland Empire. So I know that you have been able to help direct or guide some folks that have had some type of trouble with that, or?
Yeah. Human trafficking is a big deal out here, and I really didn't realize how big it was until I got into this line of work. So I want to say when I was at the youth shelter, out of the 233 intakes we did in 2018, at least 30 were human trafficking victims, youth. And that's just on the youth side. So you can imagine, on top of that, there's also the adults that are out there. But yeah, it's a big problem.
It is a problem, and we just, a lot of times there's people that are friends and family that we know of that they're dealing with this in school, because these are things that are happening, and I've just heard some of the experiences of families that are now dealing with that with other school-age kids that are in that situation. And it's just, what normally are, I know there's, I guess, numerous signs of, something going on or something happening.
Mm-hmm.
So what advice would you share with anybody that you would think that would suspect something is wrong, like in the family that, might be exposed to that, and they just don't know how to tell another family member or tell somebody else?
Yeah, it's tough. It's not always apparent what they're doing, because a lot of what these so-called boyfriends do is they pose as boyfriends. They promise the world, and they're really pimps that are really trying to solicit the girls to work for them. So definitely just watch out for the boys, watch out for the friends. There are girls that are a little more worldly that will kind of sucker in younger, more innocent girls with these promises of money and parties, and when they get there, it's a totally different story. So yeah, we've seen girls try to recruit younger girls. It's just tough. You just really gotta watch those behaviors, watch the way they're dressing, watch if they're acting different around certain friends. Definitely keep an eye on that. Just watch that behavior with the boys also.
Right, and I know I was talking to Julie on another occasion, and she mentioned that it's not at first an obvious situation that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
First they try to befriend you, they try to be your bestie, they try to win your friendship.
Oh yeah, it's all grooming. It's total grooming, and they're sharp. They're getting sharper, the younger ones.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And so once they do that, once they have you in there, then they put you in situations that they tell you, well, a best friend wouldn't, you wouldn't go back on your best friend on something, and you wouldn't, you don't want to tell on them. So it's kind of like they really kind of like trick you into
and
that situation.
I've seen girls that were a little more timid, and then these other girls that are a little more a little more out there, a little more have a little more life experience, come in there, and all of a sudden they're having them dress a little bit different, dress nicer, building their self-esteem, doing their makeup, trying to build them up, and all of a sudden, hey, I know a party we can go to, and that's how it happens that quick.
Before you know it. So again, is there any needs that family assistance is still looking for? Because I know the last time you were looking for clothing for men and of course women, but and you guys are still doing the hygiene. But is there anything else that anybody viewing that
Sure, yeah, definitely. We can always use hygiene. Definitely the shampoo or the hotel size shampoos, conditioners, all that stuff, razors, all that stuff is great. We can also use the bigger shampoos. Whenever I get those in, those go to the next step to help those clients, one less thing they have to spend their money on. Right. So that hygiene stuff is good. Volunteer is always good. If anybody wants to, get into kind of human services, that kind of career, we've got a great, program there. You're going to meet people from all kinds of different walks of life there, different situations. So a great learning experience if you want that kind of experience. And always clothes. We can always use clothes, definitely. Especially with the rain coming, raincoats, umbrellas, stuff
something
like that.
Something warm to wear.
Yep.
Blankets, jackets, coats.
Blankets, gloves, beanies, all that stuff.
Okay,
yeah, it's getting cold out there.
Yeah. A
lot of my clients are asking for blankets, beanies, and gloves, definitely.
Perfect. Okay, and is there any event coming up in the near future, like first of the year, or?
We're trying to do a little something for the kids for Christmas.
Okay.
So we do have some of our regular families that come to us regularly. So what we want to do is do like a little toy drive for them.
Okay.
And it's not going to go to the general public. It's going to the kids that we know, need the stuff, that are kind of hitting
like
hard times and stuff.
There?
Yeah. So we have a lot of good regulars that we definitely know are deserving, that we want to try to help out.
Perfect.
So.
Okay, awesome. And what day is there a deadline on that?
Deadline is the 23rd.
23rd, okay.
So we want to try to have a little something for the kids that day.
Perfect. And what day is that week?
Okay, you got me there.
I thought I'd ask. So it's the 23rd.
Yeah.
2 days before Christmas.
Yep.
All right. So Monday? Okay, thank you. Monday.
So
by
that's
Monday.
It.
All right. Well, thanks, Jay, for stopping by
Thank you.
and sharing some information. Again, I have personally, seen the growth in the services that you guys are providing. When I stopped, I usually stop by once or twice a week, just to see what I can do to help out. And again, it's just watching you guys, helping people. It's just something that really is something that we really need. And I know that we're working together on a project with the Neighborhood Association Leadership Program, and we're going to launch something that I think that's going to be very useful for the community, not only in English but Spanish. We want to do like a bilingual twist on it.
It's the right neighborhood for that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Definitely.
so it can reach more people. So again, thank you for stopping by.
Definitely.
Visit us on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. I'm trying to figure out all these things. And then we put our finger up like this time, so like that, and just go like that. And then you're gonna go ahead and click on subscribe on our YouTube channel. And again, thanks for watching us. And again, a big shout out to Realty One Group Trilogy in San Bernardino for being able to help us put this together, help us provide information and resources for the community of San Bernardino and the surrounding cities. Thank you.
Thank you.